Hi everyone, for those that don't know me, my name's Terry. This is my cookery channel with lots of tasty recipes. I'll be covering lots more recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking Bolognese with Tagliatelle. So without further ado, let's get started. So for this recipe we're going to be using 2 medium-sized onions. We're going to be using a teaspoon of oil, although olive oil would be better if you've got it. We're using garlic granules, mixed herbs, oregano, Worcestershire sauce, some tomato puree. I'm going to be using a tin of chopped tomatoes, which I'm going to run through the blender to get rid of all the chunky tomato. Some black pepper, some salt. I've got a no stock pot, which I'm going to be using to make 300 millilitres of beef stock. I've got some mushrooms, which I'm going to chop really finely, so I'll show you how to do them. I've got some of my favourite really lean steak mince from our local one stop, and instead of spaghetti I'm going to be using tagliatelle for this recipe, and that's all the ingredients to make the meal. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is get everything prepared. So the first thing I'm going to prepare will be my onions. I want these really finely chopped. So the way I'm going to do that, slice straight down the middle, straight down so from one end to the other, like that. And the same with the other one. And then leaving the rooted end on. You need to keep the rooted end on. You can cut this end off. So the end with the roots, make sure you leave that on, but you can cut the other end off. So we cut that end off, like that. And then once you've got that done, to make a couple of slits, but you don't go all the way to the end through the root. So make some nice thin slits like that. And then slice it halfway to as far as the root. So, like that, straight down there. But don't cut it all the way, because you're going to want to hold it together. And then all you do is finely chop it. Sharp knife is better for this. So that's my first one done. I'm going to do the other one and then come back, and then we'll move on to the mushrooms. Okay, so that's my 2 medium-sized onions finely chopped and prepared. I'm going to transfer them into a dish, and then the next thing we're going to do is prepare the mushrooms. Okay, so here I've got 10 decent sized mushrooms. They're going to need a bit of a wash, so I'm going to run them in a colander under a cold water tap. Give them a good washing, and then I'm going to come back and really chop them up really finely. So I'll come back once I've given them a wash, and then we'll start chopping them. Okay, so these have all had a really good washing. For this task I'm going to be using this knife, so a good sharp knife, and all I'm going to do is just roughly chop them up, just any old way for now. Okay. So once you've given them that first rough chopping, the next thing is to just keep doing that until you reduce them down to really fine chopped. So I'll get this done and I'll come back to you in a minute. So that's all the mushrooms done. There's quite a lot there actually. So that's 10. That was 10 mushrooms. So I'll probably only actually use about that much. But the rest of it I shall save for one of my cheese and mushroom omelettes. So I'll put that in a container and store it in the fridge, and this bit here I'll be using for today's recipe. So really you just need 5 decent sized mushrooms, that's plenty. But that's what you want to be looking for, so make sure it's all nicely finely chopped, and that's pretty much all the preparation done. So now we shall move on to the cooking. Alright, we're going to start by adding 1 tablespoon of oil into the pan, let that get nice and hot, and then we're going to add the onions, and we're going to fry these for about 4 minutes or so. We want them to get nice and soft. We don't want to overcook them, we don't want to go in brown. Just nice and soft. So cook them for about 4 minutes or so. Get them nice and soft. Okay, so they're starting to soften nicely now. So the next thing we do is we add in the garlic and the mince, and we fry it again for a few more minutes. Okay, so they've softened up nicely now, I'm quite happy with them. So I've got my mince here, which I've already got ready. I've got my garlic, so you want a teaspoon of garlic in there with the mince, and mix it all in and fry that until the mince goes brown. There's no pink left. I've got my stock ready and I've got my mushrooms ready. So just going to get a teaspoon. I'm going to break this mince up as it goes in. I've washed my hands, make sure you wash your hands, keep your hands clean. Breaks up nicely, this mince. So that's all the mince gone in. I'm going to mix all that in now, and then I'm going to be adding the garlic. So we want this mince to go nice and brown. We don't see any pink. Okay, at this point I want to add my teaspoon of garlic, a really good heaped teaspoon of garlic granules, sprinkle that in. Drops a bit then. That's them gone in. Now we're going to continue frying it until this mince has all gone brown all over and there's no pink remaining. And then I'll come back to the next stage. Okay, so that's browned off nicely now. It's a bit browned off. So the next stage, I'm going to sprinkle in the mushrooms. Give them a good mincing, a good mixing up. And a good frying. Then I'm going to put in 1 good heaped teaspoon of mixed herbs. So a good heaped teaspoon of mixed herbs goes in there. And then a good heaped teaspoon of oregano. Good heaped teaspoon of oregano. Give that all a good mix in, and then we'll add seasoning, put some salt and pepper in, and then move on to the next stage. So I'll cook that again for a few more minutes, about 3 or 4 minutes. Sprinkle the salt to a great height. A good helping of black pepper, and give that good mixing up. Cook that for about another 3 more minutes, and then we'll move on to the next stage. Okay, so the next stage is we're going to add the tomatoes, the beef stock, the Worcester sauce and some tomato puree. But before we do that, I want to reduce these chunky tomatoes down, so I'm going to give it a couple of turns in the blender, about 3 whizzes, and then we can add that to the mixture. So we can put that back, turn the heat back on. Okay, so now we add that to the mixture. Mix that in, and then we add the stock. Give it all a good mixing. And you want about 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. That's about 2 tablespoons. Get that mixed in. Now you want to start bringing this to the boil. So that's everything gone in, so you give it a good stir. The only thing that remains to go in there now is 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. A good splash of Worcestershire sauce. Give that all a really good mixing. Bring it to the boil, and then what we do, we put the lid on it and turn it down to simmer and leave it for about 30 minutes. The aroma in here is awesome. Smelly vision. That's the next thing we need. Smelly vision. Then you'll all be able to smell these aromas. So we're going to bring that to the boil, and then I'm going to put the lid on it, and it's going to simmer for 30 minutes. 20 minutes after into the 30 minutes. So when it gets to 20 minutes, I'm going to start on the tagliatelle. So that'll take about 10 minutes. So that's boiling nicely now. So I'm going to turn that down to simmer, put the lid on it, and then we'll come back when it's time to do the tagliatelle. Okay, so the 10 minutes is up. I've boiled some water, which I'm going to pour into the pan for the tagliatelle. During the 20 minutes I've been popping in and stirring the Bolognese. So we shall now add the boiling water to the pan. Bring that to the boil. About 3/4 of a pan. Now I've got my tagliatelle. I'm going to put about 6 bowls in. So enough for 2 people, so 6 of these bowls if you like. I'm going to throw 6 of them in. And I'm going to cook them on a high heat for about 10 minutes. I've got some grated cheese for when it's all plated up. And then while that's cooking for the 10 minutes, I'm going to keep stirring this. So I'll come back to you in a few minutes time. So I've got my bowls of tagliatelle in there. I need to bring that to the boil. Keep stirring it because you don't want it sticking to the pan. Once that's done, it'll be drained in a sieve and some more boiling water poured over it because I don't want it sticky. I don't want sticky tagliatelle, so we'll be rinsing that off with some boiling water. For the 10 minutes that's cooking, I'm going to keep stirring the Bolognese. Looking nice now, look at that. Yeah, look at that, beautiful. Beautiful. So keep stirring that for 10 minutes while that tagliatelle is cooking. So the lid's gone back onto the Bolognese sauce while that's tagliatelle is boiling. So after 10 minutes I'll be taking that tagliatelle out, draining it through a sieve, rinsing it with some boiling water because we don't want sticky tagliatelle. And then I'll be plating up, sprinkling some grated cheddar cheese on top and sitting down and enjoying it. So I'll see you in a few minutes time. Okay, so the 10 minutes is up, the tagliatelle is ready. I've got boiled the kettle full of water. Excuse me. So now I'm going to run this through. I've been stirring the Bolognese sauce while I've been waiting for the tagliatelle. So I'm going to run this through now. Boiling water so it's not sticky. And then the next thing to do is to plate up. So I shall see you in a minute. Voila! My Bolognese with tagliatelle. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click on like and subscribe. Watch out for more tasty dishes to come. Next time I might use up them extra mushrooms with a nice cheese and mushroom omelette. And all it remains for me to do now is to sit down and enjoy it. And thank you for watching.